Cheryl Burke thinks guests have pulled out of her podcast because of her rift with DWTS executives. Cheryl Burke is opening up about her falling out with Dancing with the Stars after leaving the show in 2022. "I did not want to quit the show. This was my family," Burke, 39, told Amy Robach and TJ Holmes on the podcast's Tuesday, April 16 broadcast. "That defined my identity in every manner. I believed it was time for me to advance in my job." When asked why she didn't return to the show for Len Goodman's homage in October 2023, Goodman, who has served as a judge on the for 17 years since its debut, Burke, who died of prostate cancer in April 2023, explained that the decision-makers at DWTS were unhappy with her podcast. "I learned of Len's homage at the same time as everyone else, and that was simply a stab in the heart for me," Burke stated. "I couldn't believe I wasn't included in something so special. More than anything, I'm just incredibly depressed. I'm still quite sad. I am not even mad anymore." Burke claims she asked her representatives why she wasn't included, and they informed her it was because of her podcast. "It just gives me the impression that they're not paying attention," Burke explained. "Of course, on social media, we need to attract listeners. Sadly, you have to put together pieces that may sound like, oh, she's just bashing the show. No, that is not what the podcast is. It is telling the truth." Burke, who was a professional dancer on DWTS for 26 seasons and won 2 Mirrorball trophies, debuted her podcast, Sex, Lies, and Spray Tans, in September 2023, where she shared her behind-the-scenes experiences on the show, frequently alongside former celebrity dancers. She knows the secrets, the behind-the-scenes arguments and affairs, the flings, the flirting, and the fighting, the podcast's description states. "It's time to tell all." Burke also feels that guests she had booked for the program who abruptly dropped out were affected by the DWTS power structure. "I know of some guests who said yes to the show and then abruptly said no," she told Holmes and Robach. "I don't know who, what, where, when, how it all happened, but I can only assume, and my feeling is that someone who isn't happy with the podcast may have been an influence." However, at the end of the day, Burke is glad for her time on DWTS and cherishes the memories. "Are there anything that aren't made entirely of glitter and rhinestones? Of course, because with every event, there is the good, the bad, the ugly, everything," Burke remarked. "I am always going back to the fact that I am in gratitude for my experience, and my time with the network and with Dancing with the Stars in general."